Now, in less than a week, voters in the United States will choose whether Kamala Harris or Donald Trump will be seated in the Oval Office. Democratic candidate Kamala Harris vowed to serve all Americans if elected president, as she sought to contain fallout from a remark by President Joe Biden that appeared to suggest otherwise. Her presidential campaign has been forced off pace by remarks from President Joe Biden that appeared to label Trump supporters as garbage. In the closing pitch of a presidential campaign, Harris promised to put country above party and above self. The U.S. Vice President is spending the final week of the campaign telling voters that she will respect those who disagree with her. She says her rival Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. However, she was forced to distance herself from the president's remarks.
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continuously throughout my career. I believe that the work that I do is about representing all the people, whether they support me or not. And as President of the United States, I will be a president for all Americans, whether you vote for me or not. That is my responsibility, and that's the kind of work that I've done my entire career, and I take it very seriously.
Now, seizing on the comments made by the U.S. President, Donald Trump hit back at both Biden and Harris, saying you can't lead America if you don't love Americans. Donald Trump also climbed into a garbage truck as he arrived in Wisconsin and answered questions while wearing a high-visibility jacket.
I think the Democrats have done a very poor job. We're leading in every state. We're leading big, and I think that the comment made by really both of them, because there are really two of them, about being garbage, maybe 250 million people, they shouldn't be talking. That's like deplorable for Hillary. This is the deplorable for Hillary, and I think this is worse, actually. For Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
Now, this comes after U.S. President Joe Biden's supposed attempt to call out racist remarks by a speaker at a campaign rally for Trump.
The other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
Now, Biden sought to clarify matters on X. The U.S. president said, and I am quoting here, earlier today I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporters at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. The White House also tried to clarify his remarks later.
Just to clarify, he was not calling Trump supporters garbage, which is why he this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that clarified what he meant and what he was trying to say.
And our correspondent Susan Tehrani also sent us this report from New York, where she talks about Harris's focus as she campaigned for the 2024 election.
Vice President Kamala Harris continues to emphasize her commitment to safeguarding democratic institutions and access for health care, particularly in those swing states, which are crucial as this race tightens. Harris attended rallies where she highlighted her plans to expand health care access and address economic inequalities, framing these as being central to a fair and stable democracy. Her approach has resonated with younger voters and minority communities, positioning herself as a steady leader against Donald Trump. The VP's team believes that her stance on democracy and social welfare and possibly abortion will ultimately differentiate her campaign.
Susan also spoke about the key highlights of Trump's campaign rally in North Carolina. Listen to this.
The president concentrated rallying his base in Michigan and North Carolina, strategically appealing to working class and rural voters with a promise to cut taxes and support small businesses. Also reverse Democratic economic policies. Trump's campaign in Michigan emphasized energy independence and also trade protection, themes that resonate with Rust Belt voters. His message is aimed at portraying himself as a leader who will combat perceived government overreach, positioning his economic platform as an antidote to what he describes as excessive regulation and bureaucratic mismanagement by Democratic leadership.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.